Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christopher, and today we're doing a kind of impromptu live stream. And we're talking about collecting Star Wars in Canada and what it's like for us Canadians up here. I've got a couple of guests to bring on. The first has been a guest on the channel in the past. He was on the Star Wars fan battle, I believe it was. Gord from Papa Gord. Let me bring you in here. There we go. Hey, Gord. Thanks for hopping in.
Hey,
You want to let
anytime.
people know
Sure.
what your channel is about, what you do over there in Eastern Canada?
Absolutely, yeah. But down in southern Ontario, just about an hour outside of Toronto, I guess. More closer to Steeltown, the Hammer, the Go Tiger Cats. I don't watch CFL at all, but yeah. Used to kind of go under the Canadian Santa Claus moniker. Now I'm just kind of dropped that, but generally speaking, Black Series, that's always been the biggest push on the channel. Has been Black Series reviews and what have you. And GI Joe Classified has kind of just jumped onto the shelves ridiculously, and Lego. So I mean, you can never go wrong with Lego. So
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to
yeah,
stay away from the Lego myself, but I'm slowly the odd set just shows up, so
it
you know.
does, and it's hard to go. "Well, I do, like I managed to clear out some of my collection, so I was able to get I made a flip, and I've got the UCS Razor Crest. So it was a Grail
There you
piece for
go.
me, and I'm like, where's it gonna go from here now? So like, I can buy a
Right.
$20 set. I don't need to spend another and get another 700s. So
Yeah.
no, I'm
True.
definitely yeah, for the most part that's kind of what I've been doing. Mostly live streams lately as well. It's been on the personal side of things, family stuff has just been super heavy the last couple of months. So I've just like, well, you know what? I got to kind of pull myself out of sitting down here for hours and making content right now. But my wife had surgery on her shoulder. The kids are busy as heck all the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the channel had to take a back seat for a little bit, but I'm starting to ramp up again. So I've been sitting down making some content. Somehow I just
Nice.
came across a bunch of the Skeleton Crew today. So I'm like, well,
Crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, we'll jump into that one in a little bit, but I'll bring on our next guest here. Our next guest has also been on the channel. I did a toy hunt with him and his father. We got Rob from Collectors Critical. Hey, Rob, thanks for coming on.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Yeah, and you want to let people know what you do on your channel, what your channel is all about?
Yeah, sure. My channel is all about having fun with toys. We do everything except take things seriously. So we do GI Joe Classified, Star Wars Black Series, Vintage Collection. Recently delved into proper vintage with the attack base and basically anything that's fun. So imports, customs, all that stuff. It's all about the toys and all about having fun with the toys in imaginative ways.
Yeah, yeah, definitely go check their channels out. I'll leave their links in the description below for you guys to go subscribe to them. Both fellow Canadians, so I figured I'd have you guys on and kind of discuss the state of collecting in Canada. Like for us Canadians, we don't have it as easy as our friends to the south. I mean, sometimes we do. We
Sometimes.
do get stuff a little bit ahead of them. Sometimes the odd time, but like for the most part, they're getting stuff before we are. They got discount stores like Ross and stuff where they're getting stuff for like, $3.99, $5.99 for some of this stuff, and it's like, come on, guys! Like what? I know. I got some. What is it? The TVC figures and some of the retro series figures at Dollarama up here for like $5. I think that's like the best we've gotten up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you both collecting like mainly right now? Rob, you mentioned like vintage collection stuff and GI Joe Classified. Gord,
Basically,
you said Black Series Gord for yourself
Yep.
mostly.
Mostly. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically,
So
anything I think is cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So where do you find you have the most luck finding stuff? Just like in person. because I know for me, like I check out Walmart when I'm going there for groceries and whatever, and it's really hit or miss with Walmart.
Walmart, I have a love-hate relationship. I've got one across the street. I could take me 5 minutes to hike over. They have had the same. Oh, who is it still sitting on the shelf? There's Grief Karga. There's a Grief Karga from season 1 of The Mandalorian, still sitting for $35 or $34.97, whatever kind of crazy weird price or whatever. I'm like, and that's it. I haven't seen any, never see exclusives at this location. They don't stock G.I. Joe Classified. I couldn't tell you last time I even saw Marvel Legends sitting on the shelf over there. GameStop for me, as far as a physical entity, I find that's the best place for me to get my figures. One, at least you get a little bit of a discount because they are phasing that whole Edge card out. But if you still got it, I've got Onyx, which just means I spend too much money at the GameStop. But like I said, like today it was the first 4 figures from the Skeleton Crew. I've not looked into the show for when it's coming out or what the premise or any of that, but I'm like, hey, why not, I guess. But yeah, GameStop for me, I think overall that's the place. Toys R Us, I used to work for them up until maybe just a couple of years ago. Their prices are outrageous, so I don't even bother. Even on a sale price, I won't buy from Toys R Us anymore now. So
nope. Yeah. How about you, Rob? What about yourself? Because you're kind of outside one of the major cities. Like you're I
live out in the sticks.
Decently sized. Yeah, you're in a decently sized city, but like not like Calgary or
Toronto, we're closer to Drumheller, and they do have a Walmart there, but the toy section's a joke, so it's not even worth going to most of the time. But I guess it depends what I'm looking for as to where I go. Every time I'm in Airdrie or Calgary, gotta hit the GameStops, gotta hit the Walmarts. And then just for laughs, got to hit the Toys R Us to see what they're trying to ask. Like Brody and Belloc celebrating birthdays and $85. So, but it depends on what I'm looking for. Most of the newer Disney stuff I don't really care about. Like I don't care about the Acolyte stuff. I don't care about the sequel stuff. So when they do that, I don't need those figures. But occasionally stuff will pop up. And I'll go for it. And mostly Vintage Collection and Black Series, so that leaves me the occasional Walmart and GameStop, like kind of the same as Gord. So
yeah, it's the same for me. Like I like going to Toys R Us just to kind of see what they have, but like I can't remember the last time I've actually bought a figure from Toys R Us there.
My favorite place is toy shows. You go to toy shows, get a good deal on stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah, and Rob, you and your dad come up to the Edmonton Collector Con here, so I met you a couple of times, and that one's the best one out here. Gord, what about like for you, like toy shows in your area? How are they out there?
I just because I know so many people in my area, like I don't want to use the scalper term, but there are, we all have our groupings in our own areas. My area, I don't know if it just because of where we sit. So where I am, it's about an hour for me to get to Buffalo. So if I want to go to the States, I got an hour. If I do want to go to Toronto, again, about an hour. So I'm kind of like right in the middle. So there is a bit of a pull, but it's I haven't been to a toy show in a while because I find the few that are in, like Hamilton will do one, Burlington will have one, Woodstock, whatever. But I see the same vendors and they're just bringing the same pieces all the time, and maybe debating on what city they're in, they might jack the price a little bit more, or like, oh, do I sneak in there and go to a show on a Sunday and go in about an hour before it's closing up and see if I can, cherry pick some stuff.
Yeah.
Usually all the good stuff's gone by that point. So it's just like, do I need another gin or so? You know what? If she's cheap enough, maybe I'll bring another gin home. But But yeah, that's usually, I always loved going down. Like if I would have brought my son when he was young, he was always really great for being the kid to go down below the tables and go through all the just the random bins of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And he would just find gold. He wouldn't know what he was grabbing, but the guy's like, oh yeah, $1, $2, whatever. So we've done all right there, and I've made some good contacts with some people. So if they do happen to find something that I'm looking for, and vice
Yeah.
versa, then we can make that. But I do find now, because it almost feels like things are drying up on the physical end of the retail spectrum in some of the stores around here, that you're almost reliant on online ordering, and you're at the mercy of whatever happens to show up at your doorstep that day. So if it's an Amazon package, you're lucky if it's in a bag and hasn't been stepped on 1,000 times. And if you're an inbox collector, that's going to drive you nuts if it's even got a scratch on the box. So and then maybe your guy shows up and he's cross-eyed, or he's got
Yeah.
it's just, who knows. And that, especially I find with Amazon, that if you end up sending it back, sometimes they don't get that figure back in again, and then it's like, well, do I keep that figure with 2 left feet, or what do I do? Or I'm going to go to a show and I'm going to pay more for it. So
Yeah. That's the thing, because like not so much at the collector con. I mean, I think there's a couple vendors that are charging close to retail. Like I did see the Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka series there, and he was charging like I want to say like close to $50 for it. And I was like, I saw that at GameStop recently, and it was like 36. So I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's which I think is pretty common for GameStop, and I think Walmart's kind of around there. Like you guys mentioned, like Toys R Us is kind of 40, 45 for these things, and it's nuts, right? What do you guys find is like the biggest, like your guys' biggest hurdle for like collecting in person, anyways, and at these stores? Like, do you find it's the price, the distribution, like the lack thereof?
That would be the biggest problem for me, is you're not guaranteed that they'll get any more than one wave. And Hasbro's been playing games with what's in what wave. They've been, sometimes, you get 3 or 4 of the thing you don't want, and then 1 of the thing you do want. Like when you remember those Black Series Magna Guards and Clone Trooper wave, that Phase 2 Clone Trooper?
Yeah.
That was like, I forget what the quantity was in the cases, but there was one time we were at the South Center Mall GameStop in Calgary. They had 4 Clone Troopers and 4 Magna Guards, and holy crap, right? Like 2 of each. And I should have got more, because never saw them ever again. Not at a toy show, not on shelves anywhere, just that one store. And so you never know. I mean, last time we were in South Center and Chinook, just looking around, I found the Siege of Mandalore Black Series Ahsoka. Where did that come from? They had one at Chinook and South Center. I got the one at South Center, and where did these come from? They've been these were months ago. Like, come on. So you never know, but that's also the biggest problem, because you never know. So you go to these places, these days that's a lot of gas money to be running around and wasting for a big nothing. Sometimes you get lucky at Dollarama. You might get some vintage collection, or if you do the retro stuff, they got that too sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, no guarantee. So to me, that's the most frustrating part, is the distribution. And after that, it comes down to price. But
yeah, well, yeah. The price point, that's so up until, so I got into Black Series, I want to say about year 4 or year 5 of the whole thing, and I had almost 5 years of backtracking. So I had a lot of fun at the beginning, going to toy shows. Didn't care if I couldn't get it in a box, as long as it was complete, whatever. And I was like a crazy fool. I've never been so like, oh geez, I was looking every day. If I wasn't at work, or oh hey, I'm on my break at work, yeah, this city's got a Walmart, I'm gonna zip over there, forget my dinner, I'm just gonna go look at their toy department and see what I can score. and it just got so frustrating not seeing anything besides the figures we always see sitting on the shelves. And it's unfortunate that it's usually Lando Calrissian, Grief Karga, you know, a few of those or whatever. You never see, the only exclusive I think recently that I've seen is Grief Karga's Astromech droid. At another Walmart, they've got probably 3 cases of them on the shelves still. And I'm like, oh, that's a great new design. I have one. I don't need 16 more to bring home, because even if I were to try to sell them to some people, I know I'm going to take a bath on it. Just like I did when I decided at the end of 2022 that I'm like, I can't be a completionist anymore. It's too difficult. Store
too expensive too.
Oh, it's horrible. I can't, like, I find that Hasbro sometimes makes it so difficult. Like, I wouldn't use Hasbro Pulse for the longest time because their shipping was so bloody expensive, and we couldn't, as Canadians, download their app. So how are we supposed to? I wanted to do the design yourself as a Star Wars figure, but being a Canadian, you couldn't do it. And I mean, now they're finally starting to open the doors a little bit more to not make it so expensive. But Disney Store exclusives, like, people are chirping for that Gree and Yoda 2-pack. Like, that's a hot piece right there. If you're able to get your hands on that, and a lot of us probably won't even get a chance to even see the damn thing. Or you see a few really awesome dudes that are in the know. I use Great White North, I think is his Instagram, and whatever he posts, that's, I'm like, oh, okay, great. Those are the SKU numbers for GameStop, so I'll get this, that, and everything else done. But yeah, it's disappointing that it feels like we're being pushed to specifically just going online. And we have quite a few online retailers over here now with Toy Snowman and DJC Collectibles. I don't know if Red 7, if he's still going or not, but we're getting some that are actually starting to stick around, instead of these companies that are up and running and then they can't get distribution and they start taking pre-orders, and then they have to close their virtual doors, and then people are out money, and the whole, like, it just, I don't like getting into stuff like, you know, and it does take a lot of the fun out of it to go, oh yeah, I'm gonna see what I can, you know, what I can get. And 99% of the time it's usually a big fat goose egg. But yeah, to factor in your gas, your time, and everything else, it's, for us, in, you know, Black Series was $29.99 for the longest time. And slowly but surely, COVID, and it almost seems every year it seems to kind of nudge up another $1, but we're not getting anything extra in with that extra price.
No, we seem to be getting less. If anything.
Yeah.
I haven't bought from any, I don't think, Canadian online distributors. I mean, Big Bad Toy Store is handy with their pile of loot, so you don't have to ship it right now. We have bought from Hasbro Pulse before. Haven't really had that many issues with them. I think it's over $50 or over $70 you get free shipping. So that's nice. The problem is whoever's in the packing department shouldn't be, because they throw the thing in the biggest box they can find, and they just put that weird, like, mesh paper stuff around it. They're like, it'll be fine. When I got that Vintage Collection Jabba set, the front end of the box went like it had been beaten in, right? I mean, I'm not an inbox collector, so it didn't matter to me. And I was sure to mention it in the video that, look, you idiots, look what you've done. But that's just how it goes from them. But the biggest problem I've ever had in shipping was from the Disney Store. That was terrible. We ordered 2 Mace Windu Clone Trooper. That's the 187th Battalion, I think, Black Series.
Yeah.
2 of the Black Series Clone Droid battle packs, and then 2 of those Disney Store exclusive TC-14s, right? These guys couldn't organize their way out of a wet paper bag. They sent it by UPS, which we specifically told them not to do, but they did it anyways because UPS won't ship to a PO box. It just gets the PO box and they go, oh, well, I don't know how that works. And they just turn around and take it back to the nearest city. And then it's just in the city in limbo and eventually just goes back to Disney. So it was the first day of fighting was on the phone with Disney saying, "Hey, why did you send it UPS? We specifically told you not to when we ordered it." And they said, "Oh, well, we're real sorry. We'll phone you back tomorrow." Well, that phone call never came, of course. So and what ended up happening is the clone troopers went back to Disney, never saw those again. Those are the 187th ones. Never saw those again. We said to hell with the TC-14s because I don't need them that badly. But fortunately, the clone trooper battle droid battle packs, we caught those before they went back to Disney. We marched our asses down to Calgary and went to their whatever their distribution center is down there and went in and yelled at all of them saying, "Look, we've been trying to get these for the better part of 4 days now, and nobody's playing ball. Well, we really can't give them to you because this is a distribution center, so you have to have them go to your address." Well, that's fine and dandy, except you won't send them to our address because it's a P.O. box. So
Yeah.
after a good bit of yelling, they finally said, "Yeah, okay, we'll make an exception this time." They weren't happy about it, but so I got 2 out of the 6 things that I ordered from Disney, and they were wrapped poorly, like even worse than Hasbro. There was no safety packing in them. The box was not damaged, but it had it hadn't been taped properly, so it's kind of flapping around on one side. So it was whatever. I opened them anyways, but to only get 2 out of 6 things that you ordered and you had to pay full shipping, and they said, "Well, you're welcome to try and reorder them." Yeah, okay. Try and get those 187th Battalion clones from Disney now. Like, holy crap, guys. So abandon that, and I've never bought from Disney again because of that absolute gong show. But haven't had that much problem with Hasbro Pulse. Big Bads have been pretty good, and I think that's all we've tried. Actually, imports I've gotten from a couple of Japanese sites, and those have been just fine. But I haven't really tried any of the Canadian sites yet. I probably should, honestly, because being in Canada, it's good to know what your options are. So I should give that a shot.
Yeah. Zombie 2010 says the Canadian dollar totally sucks. Yeah. You're not wrong.
No.
But like they're inflating the prices on stuff even more. Like I get the like the exchange rate, whatever, but like I know you guys don't collect Funko Pops. I collect them. There's a Gaming Greats box that's like, I think it's like $20 in the States. It's like $60 up here. Like what? Where do you justify this?
That's like Toys R Us. I mean, the exchange rate, it's not great, but it's not that bad. These aren't like Japanese yen we're talking about. This somebody somewhere's, digging in the pockets a bit, right?
Yeah. No option to mail either. Yeah. And Toys R Us is stupid expensive. Yep.
Last time we were at Toys R Us, this was Cross Iron Mills Mall, Airdrie, Alberta. They still have the Endor Rebel Soldiers Black Series. You know how much those are on the shelf for? $60. They're asking for that.
Yeah.
$59.95. That's the regular price at Fleece RS for the regular Black Series single figures is $60. Like, you're dreaming. Holy crap.
Yeah. How about Amazon? Do either of you order many figures from Amazon? At least it's a little bit cheaper than it's definitely cheaper than Toys R Us. I think it's about on par with GameStop and Walmart.
For me, it depends what the deal is. Like I got that new Cobra Commander from Classified from Amazon, and but it's not a frequent site that I check. So
I go quite a bit just to see. The hologram or whatever they're the nice translucent line they're doing. So Axe Woves is like $18 right now. So did I need another? Like Mando was the only one I ever wanted, but I'm like, oh well, for $17 plus tax, of course I'm gonna get him. Not that what am I gonna do with him? I don't know. Maybe I'll pull him apart and I'll make him a custom, and I'll save his little light bounty puck thing or whatever. But Yeah, I mean, even like look at the price on Amazon for Amazon exclusives. Like the one reason I gave up on being a completionist was seeing things like that 2-pack on the cards with the TIE Pilot and the Royal Guard, but they were what, carbonized? Yeah, they did the carbonized
yeah.
2-pack, and it was $105 plus tax. So going, okay. So you're saying that a single figure is $35 plus tax, let's say. But even if you double that and go, well, it's 2 figures, you're charging me for 3 figures, and all you're doing is making them shiny, and you're putting them on a card back instead of a box. So I'm more likely to leave the card backs alone. And I just sit there and go like this. It's ridiculous how expensive. The Ahsoka and the HK droid or whatever, same thing. It was like $105 for 2 figures. So just because you're slapping a exclusive thing on it, why do we as customers have to pay more? You know, and what sucks is if you try to play the waiting game. Nah, you know what? I'll forget it. Like the Acolyte, they're decent figures, but am I going to buy them full price? Oh God, no. I've got my hands on a few pretty cheap, so I've been making customs with them. I'm like, I can always have more Jedi in the background. It doesn't matter who they are, you know. But sometimes if you play the waiting game, you'll never see it again, possibly, or maybe you do, and it's like 4 times as much as you're willing to pay for it, and then you're just like, I'm a fan. So how can I get, you know, what this guy's got? How can I have the same thing? I just don't get it. And then Hasbro as well. Their customer service, not bad. If you're contacting them, say again, you got to figure it's got 2 left feet or something's broken. And what do they tell you? Well, we can send you something of equal or greater value, but we can't send you the same item because we don't know if we have any more in stock. What?
Yeah.
From your own website. And I complained one time. I got back, they sent me a Transformer that was probably 3 or 4 years old, just dead stock. And I'm like, that wasn't even the same amount of I get so stressed if I have to get a hold of them to say, you know, hey, your machine made a mistake, but I want the same thing. Just give me another. And I've never received anything if I've ever had to get a hold of them for any problems. So some people do really well, and you see and they post up, oh, look what they sent me, and holy crap, like you got really lucky there. But yeah, I got like a $14 Transformer from a $35 figure. So I don't know, but
I feel like because we're just up here across the border, because they're shipping from the States, they're making it harder for us. Like they're like, oh, it's too expensive for us to ship up to you guys, right? It's like it's
Americans don't understand how Canada works. They don't understand how to get things up here. They don't understand how our dollar works.
Yeah.
No matter what comes up here, if anything comes up here, if we're so lucky, we're always last. It goes overseas before it comes to us. Like when that Vintage Collection Jabba set came out, for example, that thing took ages to get here.
Yeah.
Ages. Guys were getting it in the UK before I was getting it. And we're one country over. Like you sent it across the ocean before you sent it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't understand it. Zombie 2010 says we need an Ollie's up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like we don't have any discount chains like that. No. Like Winners and Marshalls up here are like they do get they don't get like figures. They get like some Funko Pops the odd time. And they're priced decently. Like they're not like overpriced, but they're not like on deep discount. And then like GameStop down there, like I know Gord, you mentioned that they're getting rid of the Edge card, which sucks. Like for me, I like the they used to do the buy so many Funko Pops and you'd get a free one.
Yep.
But they don't do that anymore. So hopefully that kind of go in the way like the US is going and bringing in like you collect so many points or whatever and you can get a discount, like a $5 or $10 discount whenever.
That's what I had
points.
heard.
Yeah.
That's what I had heard at the one we were at not too long ago. They said, "Wow, we're implementing some point system." She didn't really go into great detail. I mean, I didn't ask either, so
yeah,
it's kind of my bad. But
yeah, Francesca said, "I thought that being an EU citizen is terrible. We have VAT curse, customs." Yep. Zombie 2010 said, "I hear Euro incoming mail gets nailed hard." That's unfortunate.
And it doesn't help too now that we got a postal strike. So,
yeah, I know. That on top of it, I know, right?
So all the Canadian toy distributors like Toy Snowman and all that, they're all going UPS. So of course, that means your shipping rate is even going up just a little bit more. And
yeah,
I mean, if you look at again the average price, so I mean, you know, if you say $36.99 plus tax, if you just round to an even $40, so you're already going. So I'm into this for $40, and if you want to get it shipped, and say like if we're not buying full waves, and if you're buying online, you almost need to buy 3 figures minimum. You know, because a lot of them are like $100 or more. We'll give you shipping for free. So then you're like, oh, do I really? Well, maybe they don't have it in stock, or maybe they haven't got it for a pre-order yet, or whatever else. So a lot of the time, I might sit there when we're having these special Hasbro days on the internet, and then I'll be like trying to order at the same time, going, oh my God, I just want that one figure. And it's going to cost me like $68 or whatever. I'm like, I can't justify a $35, $40 figure is going to run me, you know, $20, $25 on top of that just to get it to me. If I only want, say, 1 out of 5 figures or 8 figures or whatever. Winners and Marshalls used to get figures. I used to find which one was it? The Remnant Stormtroopers. I found both. So I got lucky with those ones because I only found one on the shelf, and then that was it. And I'm like, I need more dirty Stormtroopers, and then it happened to be in a Winners, and they had like 8 of them sitting there, and I'm like, oh, okay, I will take a few of those, and I'm not paying scalper price for them, so.
No, I know. Like I said, Winners and Marshalls, at least they're not overpriced if they get anything, but like it's hardly ever. Do you guys have any US contacts to find stuff cheaper? I used to have a fellow help me out years ago, and I got a lot of items back then. I don't know. Do you guys have US contacts yourselves, or?
Not really. I have a few friends that live in the eastern U.S., and I tried one time to get a few pieces, but they don't collect toys. They don't know what they're looking at. And then they would just forget to go in the discount stores and be like, oh, well, shucks, I tried. So
I have a lot. I've got quite a few. I think majority of my viewer base or whatever, a lot of them are stateside, and I've made really good friends with quite a few. So, when we used to seem to get some of the exclusives quicker up here, and they couldn't get them down in the States like that through that new 3-pack of Phantom Menace with Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Maul, they're having a hell of a time. They still don't have them down in the States. There's like 3 sitting over at my local store right now, and I was like,
yeah,
I don't. And
that was weird.
I saw that though too, but what is it? It's like $100 or something like that. 120,
something like that.
I can't remember. Something like that. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, is it worth it buying that for that price? And then, like, because they're gonna get it for like $60 down there or something crazy.
Yep.
The Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are just a reuse, but they've got robes this time.
Yes, that's what.
Except the Maul. The Maul is really nice. The Maul is so nice. I've got the Sith Speeder and that 3-pack. I probably won't get the single because it's just the same as the 3-pack, but with no robe. So
yes,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that one's worth it. But yeah, that Maul is awesome. But I don't know if he was what made that set. You know, I mean, I didn't have a Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, so yeah, okay. just do this mazel. But that was just how it is sometimes.
True.
Yeah. Josh B said never agree to that equal or greater value. They already have your money, so they don't care. Always request a refund from them or a specified item. There you go.
Yeah,
Pro tip there.
That would be the way to go for sure. But
Yeah. Patrick said, "You guys get taxed." Collector's Critical knows it. Yeah.
And the funny thing,
not
too,
his first rodeo.
no. And I know us as Canadians, when we're sitting here griping about it, I feel horrible for the Australians. It's even worse for pricing over that way. Like, it just, they've told me how much certain things cost, and they say that the Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar are fairly similar. And then whenever they're talking HasLabs, and they're like, oh, well, you know what, that HasLab, whatever, that's going to cost me $1,000. $1,000, what the, but that's just with all the shipping and getting things in. I'm like, I wouldn't be a collector if I lived over there. There's no way I'd be able to afford that. It's just, no, not happening.
Yeah,
wow, I didn't know that. That's brutal.
Yeah,
that is crazy. Oh, it's sad that Dollarama gets more stuff from than Winners and Marshalls. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Like, I go in there and I still, like, I don't see too many TVC figures in there anymore, but I still see other Marvel stuff. The little carded figures are still there sometimes.
Yes.
So, like, they still get the
It's pretty random
stuff there. It is really random.
Yeah. Like, Dollarama just recently had Masters of the Universe Origins Battle Cat and Panther, whatever, for like $5. And okay, those were $30, I think, $29.99 when those came out. I did grab I don't like vintage, but I happened to be in and I grabbed the wave that had, I'm just looking up on the ceiling now, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan from, okay, so it's Attack of the Clones. It had the
the little Anakin, the young Anakin wave, I think.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, for $5, even
I know.
But again, my brain, I'm like, I don't collect that size, but
I passed on one of those $5 deals, and I shouldn't have. The Dollarama that's not too far away from me, they had Mace Windu, that Clone Wars Ahsoka, and I think that Kid Anakin, all of them $5.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I've already got one of those Ahsokas and Mace Windus, and I don't really want that Anakin. And now I'm thinking, man, I should have got those because I got all these ideas for these dioramas I want to do, and I'm like, oh, think I can find those again? No.
Yeah. See, I don't even collect the 3 3/4 inch figures, like, but I picked them up. I was like, you know what? It could be good for like a giveaway down the road, like for people who haven't got them yet, right? So,
some of them are surprisingly nice.
Yeah, like the cards are nice.
Yeah,
some of the cards are really nice.
Yeah, it can't.
They also just had the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for $5.
Yeah. My son my son bought them, and he got his first screw up one. His Donatello had 2 left arms, so he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, at least you're only out $5." And so he went over to the doctor, right? And he got another one. So I'm like, "Yeah, you can't." Nice. I guess you can't argue with it for $5. In Ontario, and I don't know, we've got, like, again, just on the other side of the street over here is a place called Treasure Hunt. It's a Walmart return store. Like, you go and you pick up a fan, it's missing a bolt, you take it back. So instead of Walmart trying to whatever, they just whatnot. So this store just sells bulk pallets of partially broken things, bicycles that you look at them and go, hey, these bikes look like they've been ridden for about 3 or 4 years. It's got a pop tire, but you might get it for $40 or something. The exclusive carbonized Jet Trooper from the sequel films, the one that was all iridescent, that was a Walmart exclusive that Walmart Canada, I don't believe ever saw hit the shelves. One day I'm over
Wow.
at this place and I go walking in, and there must have been 10 figures deep, 8 shelves, just end cap, and it was just all Black Series carbonized Jet Troopers. And if you worked out the discount, because depending on what day of the week you go, it could be 40, could be 50%, could be 60%. I think the one day I went in, I bought a couple, and I paid, I think, like $11 taxes in, and I'm like, this is insane. Right now they've got Power Rangers Lightning Collection, the space, I don't know, one of the Space Rangers in blue with his motorcycle, which up in Canada, if that would have ever seen the shelves, would have probably been about a $60 bill right there.
Yeah.
And all said and done, walking out of there, you're $20. And they've got the Slizzard, one of the MMPR villain bad guy figures or whatever. Same thing, $20. But if you would have seen it in the shelves back in the day, you would have been paying, maybe 2 times as much or whatever. So finding places like that, not always a guarantee. Oh, and then they've got this one here. They've got probably about 100 of these guys sitting on the shelf as well right now too. So
right,
which honestly, that's the better head sculpt. It doesn't have so many of the white patches on it. So I picked up a couple for trying some different customs or what have you. But if you're able to find a couple places like that, and I know this store is called Treasure Hunt, they've got like 5 or 6 locations, within a few hours of me. So it's like, oh, you never know. It
might be worth making the trip.
Yeah.
We have one at Edmonton. Yeah, Zombie 2010 said that. Yeah, because he's I think he's a fellow Edmontonian as well. But yeah, I've got one over on the east side of Edmonton. It's kind of like in a rough neighborhood. So like, I don't know about yours, but like when I go in, like the stuff's pulled off the shelves, it's just sitting on the floor and stuff. But I haven't come across anything like that. Like I've seen a couple Black Series figures. It's the couple from Andor. There's like the Andor Aldani mission one, and then there's like the Imperial Trooper, the Imperial officer from that wave. I see. Last time I went there, I saw the like the Bounty collection, the little like Yoda, baby Yoda figures that are like the little like cup 2-inch ones or whatever they are that come in the like the colored boxes. They had them for like $5 each, which is cheaper than Walmart because I think they're like $10 at Walmart. So like the prices are decent. But it really is a dive when you go into the one near me anyways.
The 2 that are very close to me are like, okay, just kind of take a quick look and back out, or go through the food department and see if they've got some discounts on snacks or something. But there's always a ton of people. They're always really busy, but you really need to be able to commit and spend the time to really dig through, look at stuff in there, and you probably can do all right for yourself.
My brother got like not toy related. He got like a couple appliances from the like countertop appliances for a decent price too, right? So and they take it back if you're missing stuff, like no questions asked, right? So but I mean that's as good as it gets up here, I think, for discount stores. There's no like liquidation stores really other than that. How about other means of purchasing figures and stuff? Like, do you have any luck at some of the antique stores at all, or like, I don't know, garage sales? Have you guys resorted to garage sales lately?
Tried.
Flea markets.
Flea markets. My wife and I just went to an antique market earlier today, and I had scored. I'll just pull this one off because it's not the one, but my son and I were there one day. We're looking around. There are probably a few hundred booths, and it's all like, if you see the staff and go, can you unlock this cabinet because I'd like to maybe get this or that or whatever, and then you just take it up and you pay. So I had found the elusive Kenner colored Boba Fett.
Nice,
beautiful card, the whole bit. And we know what these things go for on the secondary market. So I was like, oh my God, if it's there in 2 more weeks, I'll go back. I'm gonna buy it. And I went back, it was still there, and the guy was having a 20% off everything in his booth. So I even got it cheaper. And I ended up sending it to a friend of mine who's been amazing and has gifted me with so many, like my NECA Universal Monsters are from him, and some other things. So I was like, you know what? A friend of mine sent me this one with the cards just mutilated on it, and so I've cut the bottom out, and I still hang it proudly. I'm like, I don't care what the hell it looks like, but yeah, it was, again, it's a hit or a miss situation with that stuff. You see a lot of old stuff. I did see a little bit of Black Series today, but it was like the Praetorian Guard reboxed, and they wanted like $25 for them. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I just no, I can't do that. So
There's an antique mall in Airdrie. It's called Where on Earth Did You Get That? Great name. But they don't have a lot for modern stuff. I don't think I've ever seen any vintage collection or Black Series there. But they do have Kenner vintage stuff there. There's one whole cabinet at the back. They've got an AT-AT, the Troop Transport. They've got that original 12-figure set with the backdrop. Their prices are a bit maximum dollary. That first 12 figures is $1,500. So no, I mean, they're complete and they're pretty nice. And Luke, Vader, and Obi-Wan have the little nubbin on the end of the sabers. But so I'm not paying that. And the AT-AT, it's missing the chin guns. It does have the light bulb cover, but we don't know if it has the battery cover inside or not. And I think that one was like $250 or something like that. And there's a sale going on right now. Everything in the store can be anywhere from 10 to 50% off. That booth's 10% off. So it's still not quite enough for me to go in and get any of it. But I'm watching.
Yeah.
Patrick says Marketplace has been decent.
Yeah.
How do you find Marketplace for you guys?
Not bad.
Like, Gord, you're in a bigger city like I am, so you probably got a lot of people posting on Marketplace, and it's kind of hit or miss for me, because like some people will hike the prices up because they think they have a gem, and it's like, oh, I can get that on Amazon for cheaper. But sometimes you get the people who don't know what they're selling, and they sell it for cheap, and Gord, how is it for you in the big city? And then I'll get to you, Rob, in a moment.
Sure. Yeah, it you know what? It works really well. I mean, it's great because at least you can see a variety of prices. So you're not just getting slapped with, Charles over here, he's the only guy in Marketplace that you can get your Black Series through. So you're going to pay a bit of a premium. But I just hope, for the most part, when I'm looking, that it's not too ridiculously far, because something might pop up on my Marketplace and I'm like, oh, I'm all in on that. And then I'll click on it and then scroll all the way down. And then they might be like, oh, it's on the other side of Toronto. And I'm like, oh, I can't.
Then there's a gas
for that. And then that's when you start throwing in there going, well, would you pay to, can you ship? And then debating on who's selling things, and not pretend that there's no strike right now. But then, debating on if the person wants to go out. Like, one thing is, if I'm selling something and if I'm going to be able to ship it, I will ship. But if it's not there and people ask me, I'm just kind of like, no, it's too much of a hassle for me to go package it all up, go weigh it, give me your address so then I can type it in and give you a rough idea of what it's going to cost me to ship it to you for you to pay me back. So, there's been some sweet, some real sweet deals. I've got a couple things marked that I've had for a year and a half that's been on Marketplace, and things still haven't sold. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm trying to get a Tron, an original
talk them down, right?
Cabinet. So, I kind of want to expand my Tron collection a bit, and I'm like, oh, this would be so great. There's a guy in my city who's got a cabinet, and so that way it works out really well. But yeah, I think between GameStop and Marketplace are probably my two
Your
go-to
go-tos.
pretty
Yeah.
regularly. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Rob? Like, how's Marketplace over there? Because like you're in kind of like a smaller city there. You
Well-
don't. I guess you don't have the saturation.
Well, living outside of a city where I do, we're pretty used to having to drive to the nearest city, which for me is Calgary, which is just under a 2-hour drive away, which isn't
Yeah.
that bad, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with buying things on Marketplace if A, it's a good deal, and B, the guy's not trying to scam me out of
Mhm.
things. Like there's been some wishy-washy deals that we've come across and narrowly avoided sometimes. But I've had overall pretty good luck. Like everyone's been pretty honest, prices have been fair, and then when you get there, you have a good look at it, you get talking with the guys. They're great guys to talk to, and sometimes they'll even drop the price even more, which is even better. So
Mhm.
Marketplace has actually been not too bad. I don't. Recently, we got classified airborne off Marketplace. Right now, for some strange reason, the listings are like 900 miles away. I keep getting stuff in Surrey, Vernon, Vancouver, and
Oh, yeah.
Kelowna and Kamloops, BC. I'm nowhere
Mhm.
near any of
Yeah.
those.
And
Like,
it's
then
mixed in with
also
the
I keep
stuff that's
getting them in
closest to you.
Regina and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Like
Yeah.
that's worse. Like, so I don't know why. But usually I get listings that are in Edmonton and Calgary before this weird nonsense
Yeah.
happened, and I keep an eye out, but I don't desperately need a lot of things. So if it's a good deal and right place, right time, because usually you don't want to make a special trip to the city just for that thing. But if you're going
Yeah.
in anyway and running errands or whatever, and you just
Yeah.
happen to be able to stop by and pick up this neat new piece for the collection, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And that's basically
Yeah.
been my experience. I haven't really had any bad experiences on Marketplace, but besides that, and shows in the antique store, I also like to check collector stores and just hope they don't ask collector store prices.
Right. That's a problem. Like I got one up here that's pretty decent. It's not too overpriced like a lot of the other collectible stores, and I like going there. They got a lot of the older stuff, but like because like I understand marking up a little bit because you got to make a little bit of money, right? But it's not like astronomical. Also, I don't mind giving them some money, and like I've been in there a few times, and the last thing I picked up was a Darth Maul Rubik's cube, and she gave me a discount on it. She's like, "Yeah, no, you come in here, you do your videos, and you're kind of giving us free advertising too, so I'll give you a
nice.
deal on it too." So, so I don't mind helping them out, and it's helping out a local business too, right? But yeah, Marketplace for me, I like Marketplace. I'm the same. Like I'll see stuff in like Kelowna. I'll see a lot of stuff in Vancouver, Surrey.
It's
Lloyd
weird because it's
Minister.
only supposed to
Yeah.
be like a 400-kilometer radius or something.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
okay, Vancouver's a little outside that circle.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's mixed in. Like it'll be Edmonton. Oh, here's Lloydminster, and then Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Calgary. It's like
And
it's really
always
weird.
the really good deals too that are
Yeah.
way out
And that's the thing.
under.
And I think that's the thing. I've noticed a lot of things down in Calgary are better priced on Marketplace than up here in Edmonton. I think we got more scalpers up here.
Really? 'Cause
Yeah, it seems
funny,
like it.
I've actually noticed the opposite. So I wonder if we're getting
Have
like
you?
different feeds.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, it might be their algorithm or something. So
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Dale, an Aussie follower, says at least you have or at least you have discount stores that you can get pops and other cool stuff. We got nothing out here in Australia. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Aussie dollar is worse than the Canadian dollar. Ouch.
Brutal, just brutal. If I had hair,
Yeah.
my hair would have shot right up when
Right?
some Australian people are telling me again, oh, it's going to cost this much. I'm like, I'd ask somebody to take me out back and just lay the boots to me for a few minutes rather than do that. Like I just don't understand how how they can just in the collector's market is just I don't know. I feel bad for the Australians.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we don't have it that bad. Poptography said I bought 4 bookcases from a guy to find out when picking them up he's a designer for Black Series. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
I hope you got his contact and you're chatting with him. And
yeah, I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, with your Funko collecting, how with the Star Wars ones? I've got 1, 2. I think I've got 3 Star Wars Funko. Yeah, I got 3 Star Wars Funko, and the whole run of the 1966 Batman. So that's all the Funko I've got, and my Kevin Smith ones, I should say. I got more. So, do you find, like, do they do chases? A lot of chase pops for the Star Wars line?
There's some, like, there's a handful of them, but not
find
really
them on the shelf nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like finding the exclusives are better for like Funko collectors than Black Series figures. I think, like, I did, for example, like, let's see if I can grab it without knocking stuff over here. Like this guy, it's a Funko Shop exclusive, but it was on the shelf at GameStop with the special edition sticker. And I'm not I'm not an inbox collector, so I don't really care about the stickers.
Right.
But like we got that up here before they did, and the only thing I find with Funkos is GameStop is a little bit more than, or at least for the exclusives, it's a little bit more than Walmart.
Yeah.
For the exclusives, anyways. But like a hot topic for Funko Pops, if there are any Funko Pop collectors in the chat in Canada, or probably in the, I don't know, do they have Hot Topic in Australia there? Dale, you're in Australia. Maybe you can let us know in the chat. Like, do you guys shop at Hot Topic? They don't really carry Black Series figures, but do you guys like take a look or whatever and see what they have?
To see the Funkos or some of the nerd shirts.
Yeah.
But then you see how much they charge. They're like, well, yeah, you're going to want that Star Wars shirt. Here's a $50 price tag. Just,
don't want it that bad.
Yeah. No, not at all. But yeah, Funko. My son, he was big into Funko. He was doing a lot of the MCU stuff. And it got to a point where it became me going out and hunting for stuff for him. And it just got to a point that you're like, oh, well, we need to get that one chase figure. So then we've got the whole set of whatever. Like with my Batman 66, there's one chase figure, and that's the Riddler. And honestly, I like the chase figure better than the regular version. And the chase figure is not even worth all that much. Robin is what the one Funko that's worth the most out of all of the 66 run. So... so sometimes, like, somebody gifted me, I've never played Cuphead before, but I got a Cuphead Chef Salt Baker here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I used to be a chef in a previous life, but long time. Yeah, 30 years I was almost cooking and chefing and whatever else.
Wow.
So, but I know every once in a while I kind of think I'd like to dip my toe back into the Funko if it's something I like Ted Lasso. I was tempted to do the Ted Lasso Funkos, but there's a chase, and I'm like, I like the chase version of Ted better than the regular version of Ted. And I've asked my GameStop before, and they've gotten them all in, and we didn't get a chase. Oh, all right.
Yeah, well. And they don't hold stuff aside for you unless you pre-order it, but they won't specifically hold a chase for you. It's just like
you got your Edge card they'll hold for a day or so or whatever. Luckily, the store I've been, the store manager is no longer with the company now. He was with GameStop or EB Games for almost 20 years, and I see him one day, then I wait till the next weekend to see what I got to go pick up. I go in on a Saturday, I say to one of the staff, I'm like, oh wow, did so-and-so actually take a Saturday off? And they're like, he no longer works here. And I'm like, he bled for that company, something awful, and they just chopped him out. So my in, where I wouldn't even have to call the store. If they saw that Black Series codes were coming up, they would automatically just add it onto my account, And worst case, if the stuff showed up and I was like, yeah, I really don't need that, that's okay because they know it'll go on the shelf and it'll sell, no problem. Now,
Yeah.
store manager, now that they've got, he's all right, but I'm still trying to get a feel on him. So I don't like to go, well, here, like he uses Discord and I'm just trying to learn that now that I can actually message him that way and go, oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no problem. So that's what I did with the whatever skeleton crew figures, right? Saw it all over Instagram and whatever else yesterday. Oh, hey, look, Canadian stores are, picking up a bunch of whatever. So I called over and he's like, I've only got 5 out of the 6. Well, can you put them aside for me? Okay, no, went in today and then was like, oh, of course, it's not the pirate captain or whatever. I'm like, that's the one I'm missing. So I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'll pick up a couple. It's getting close to Christmas. I don't need to drop $200 on a complete run of characters I know nothing about. And this is yeah.
But then after you see the show and it's a good show, you're gonna regret not getting them, right? So yeah. Dale said we do get some pops coming through Costco, but no Walmart here. Yeah, Costco for us. I don't know. Gord, you collect a little bit of Lego. I've kind of started to get into it. Yeah. Like I do see Lego there go on cheaper than like the Lego store.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice. But I don't usually see Funkos there. I don't see anything else. But like, yeah, Lego sets I usually see at Costco.
Yeah, Lego. Yeah. It used to be all about going to Costco because they would have the best price on DVDs and Blu-ray when Blu-ray first came out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We have EB Games here, but they have scaled back their pops and other collectibles, closing their Zing stores recently. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so you guys have it worse than we do out here.
That's why it feels so bad sometimes, when you're just
I know. But like our friends to the south, they have it so easy though. Like even like we were talking about shipping stuff just across Canada. Like if you wanted to buy someone off of someone on Marketplace, like it costs us more to ship across Canada than it does for the States to ship stuff across the States there.
That's because the internet's made for the United States.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone else be damned. I've had better luck, better experience buying stuff from Japanese websites than American websites as far as reasonably priced. It gets here like instantly within 3 to 4 days, as opposed to Big Bad, which takes like 2 or 3 weeks. The shipping is all fairly reasonable. And this is coming from the other side of the world, but it's because they're not the US either. So they know that, the internet's a pain in the ass for everyone who's not waving the Star-Spangled Banner. So that's just
pretty much.
And they're very accommodating for it, which is quite nice. Welcome change, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Zombie 2010 said, I work at Costco. We don't get much, but North Edmonton had a huge AT-AT Lego at my store. We never received them. Yeah, I saw I don't think I saw the AT-AT there when I was there last, but I saw the Falcon, like the little, not the full UCS one, but like the little, whatever they're calling that smaller scale.
Oh, the mid-scale
one. The mid-scale one? Yeah. Which isn't bad. Like, I think they were selling it for like 60 or 70 bucks, which is like $20 less than the Lego store, I think. So
they're
bad.
Those mini builds are usually about $100 each. So that's not too bad. So, and I mean the membership I don't think is overly too pricey either, like 50, 60 bucks.
I mean if you're already paying for the membership for to get food and stuff, then it's not bad looking there as well. Yeah.
Parking lots is what puts me off of wanting to ever go to a Costco, because you just
that's the thing.
I might as well just leave my car at home and walk the 30 kilometers, and I'd have a better shot at getting, a good parking space in the driveway.
Yeah. And Rob, you mentioned like ordering off of sites that aren't like other sites that are that understand us, like the problems we have getting stuff here. Like I've ordered stuff off of Australian sites, and it's the same thing. Like their dollar's pretty much on par, or a little bit more than ours, right? So it's cheaper for me to order Funko Pops from places like Aussie Collectibles or Pop Culture and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Pop culture, yeah.
you know, that if it's under a certain amount too, like they don't charge you duty and stuff when it gets here. So like I've kind of figured out that sweet spot there. So so yeah, it's interesting. Dale said we do have Aussie Collectibles and a few other smaller pop shops. We also have JB Hi-Fi that also has pops, but they also have scaled back their collectibles. Amazon is probably the biggest seller online. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Amazon doesn't get the exclusives that the US does until months later, or not at all. Yeah, that's pretty much the same here, I think.
Yeah,
So-
well, I find when we have these stupid Fan Force Fridays or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
so on Monday, this guy's going up for pre-order on Amazon. Right away, the American Amazon website, you'll get it right away. And then what happens with us up in Canada? 2-3 days later, and then maybe you might miss it, and then you're like, oh damn, I couldn't get it pre-ordered on either site. And
Yeah.
My other problem
Yeah.
with pre-orders is the game. Hasbro's really bad for this. They're little games that they like to play. How can you sell out of a pre-order? And how does that pre-order then come back in stock? It doesn't exist yet. The pre-order is there to set you a slot, like a bookmark, so that when the thing does come out, you've already got your name in the hat and you get one. How is it that these pre-orders are selling out before the deadline that they're supposed to be, off the market? And then magically the next week it's back in stock, and you got another chance. So that just I bailed the pre-order bandwagon unless it's something that I really want. I don't want to play those games. That's silliness.
Yeah. And bots buy everything. Yeah. Try Mattel Creations. Exactly, pre-orders are a joke. Yeah, I don't pre-order anything online. I'll go to GameStop and talk to the people there because they know me pretty well now, and they'll pre-order it, and then when it comes in, even if I don't like it, like the same thing with you, Gord, like they'll put it on the shelf. They got no problem with me not taking stuff if I don't like it. So
yeah, well, that's what they tell me at GameStop all the time is like, yeah, don't ever worry about canceling anything because they're not shipping us very much of anything anyway. So we would be glad to have the Black Series at my local. So they had one Skeleton Crew and 3 Throns, and then the rest of them were the Acolyte, and that was it. No archive collection. Didn't see any re-release figures now. And again, I don't collect for monetary, but you're kidding yourself if you're not also sort of running a cash register in your brain whenever you're adding something onto your shelves to go, okay, if I had to, I could probably sell that, and I would probably be okay or whatever. But it's not. I don't know. It's just super irritating. I just get so irritated so much.
Yeah.
So,
Dale said I have to source the super exclusives from the US, but the shipping is insane. 16 pops might cost $400 US to ship. Wow. Crazy. A single pop might be 40 to 60 just to ship. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Yeah. See, that's why I don't really care about the stickers so much. Like I take them out of the box anyway, so if I don't get the one with a super rare, like the actual con sticker, I don't really care. Another thing that gets me about Amazon though, like when they do like their Prime Day deals or whatever, or Black Friday deals, like I see all my friends in the States who post deals on the Black Series helmets, like you got behind you, Gord, and it's like they're getting like what, $60-$70 for a Black Series helmet, and like then it's a joke up here. It's like, oh, it's regular $190. It's $150 now.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the store manager, he's been trying to get me to buy their Rex helmet, and I'm like,
yeah,
Rex isn't I like Rex, don't get me wrong, I like
him.
I'm Cody. I'm like, as soon as they announce that they're going to do a Commander Cody bucket, I'm all in, and that will be my last one. I've got a Phase 2 down at the bottom. I've got the Shock Trooper up top. Yeah. this guy, this was the one. I just the Biker Scout was that one. I was like, I'm gonna play the game on it. I'm gonna just see. And then I didn't see it for the longest time. And then I was at GameStop one day behind the counter. I saw that one sitting, and I'm like, what's going on with that? Is that a pre-order for some order? No, that's going on the floor. I'm like, And by the time I drove home, 20 minutes, then I called over and I'm like, just put it aside for me. I'll be back in tomorrow. I'm gonna get it, because if I don't, I guarantee I won't see it again. And it was a little bit better. And again, having the Onyx card helped with at least getting the tax plus a couple percent lower. But yeah, the helmets, the lightsabers. Like Ollie's got what was it? The Leia's lightsaber.
Yeah,
for
right.
like $40 or something. I was like,
yeah, and I think they're like $500 up here.
500.
I could
never
never
500.
find any of the ones I wanted, because they did make some pretty neat ones, but they were never around. It was always like Rey's saber, Leia's saber, which is whatever. I don't want that. But Luke's I would have taken, and probably Mace Windu's and Yoda's. I couldn't find, well, except Fleece the Rest, they had them, but I'm not paying those prices.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Dale said, I'm spoiled though. I have Pop Culture an hour's drive away, and they hold pops for me, so that's awesome. And they give me 10% discount. That's lucky. Nice. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. But there's no guarantee that Funko Shop exclusives will come to Pop Culture, as Funko dictates what specials get to PC. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, but yeah, I think we'll wrap up the stream there. And any last I don't know, maybe tips or tricks for collectors in Canada that you can give? Any advice?
Damn, I still trying to play the waiting game. I don't honestly. I don't know what more we can kind of do. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have some buddies that either collect the same as you, that's fairly local, or what have you. Like, I used to help a buddy out with his Marvel Legends, and then he would find all the Black Series stuff, and we would just swap. So I mean, if you're lucky that way, that's a big thing. And definitely, I mean, I guess playing the waiting game is, look at what Hasbro did, right? They look at all those Black Series figures that they re-released, back in the red and the black boxes and everything else like that. The Foxes, the whatever have you, the harder guys to figure out to get. And why weren't those archived? Like, those should have been on an archive package as far as I was concerned. But yeah, I mean, if you got a good circle around you, and definitely price compare. If you're able to do that, for sure. There's nothing worse than going to one store, seeing it, and then say a few hours later you pop by someplace else, and then you're like, oh damn, it's $14 cheaper. I should have. Is it going to cost me more money to take it back to the other? So yeah, a lot of mistakes early on when I started collecting. I don't wish those on anybody. So
don't do your research.
Have you by the short and curly?
Yeah.
So
definitely do your research, right? Whether it's comparing prices or seeing who has what, and
My advice would be patience, young Skywalker, because
patience. There we go.
If you're willing to miss out on something, but you can play the waiting game, like 7 or 8 years down the road, maybe you'll find it at a toy show. That's what I did. I got Black Series Plo Koon and Dooku fairly recently, and they were only $20 at a toy show from a vendor. Those are not $20 online, right? And I missed them when they first came out. And having grown up with the prequels, well, I like most of the prequel stuff that they've done, but I'm not going to pay a lot of the secondhand prices because I really don't need it that badly.
No,
but I'm willing to be patient and take some time and just keep an eye out on things, and sometimes they turn up in the most unexpected ways. Like, you never know what you're going to find in most scenarios, so it's nice when you get something crossed off that bucket list.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, thank you everyone for watching and joining in the chat. Thank you to my guests, Gord and Rob. Appreciate you both coming on. Do you guys want to let people know one more time where they can find you on your YouTube and social media?
You can go first.
Oh, okay. Thanks. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram. Collectors Critical is the name on both. And as I say, it's all about having fun with the toys.
Hmm. Which it should be.
It should.
Yeah.
It should be. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty well. Instagram and YouTube. If you look Papa Gord, the Canadian Santa Claus, or just Papa Gord, you'll find me. I'm kind of quiet right now, but I'll be moving again. But yeah, pretty well the same as Rob. Just not. This is never meant to be stressful. This is supposed to be your safe space, and hug your plastic and everything else. There are babies, so yeah.
Have some fun. Don't take it so seriously, right? Like those guys that are like meticulous about it. They're like, man, this thing is like slightly inaccurate. It's like, okay, good job, pal. Go away now. But
exactly. Yes, well said.
Yeah. Keep it fun, guys. All right. Thank you guys for coming on. And thanks for everyone in the chat. And we'll see everyone in the next video.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.